Welcome to the Food Bank of Northwest Louisiana's annual agency meeting. Thank you for watching this important video. We know you have a busy schedule, and we greatly appreciate your time today. We also appreciate your hard work, dedication, and partnership with the Food Bank of Northwest Louisiana to help feed our community. We would like to start by introducing our Agency Relations and Programs Manager. Her name is Lucy Hines. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please contact Lucy via email at agencyrelations@foodbanknla.org or call Lucy at 318-675-2400 extension 113. Let's go over our agenda. Today, we're going to talk about the 10-folder system, OASIS client software, SurfSave, how to pay your invoice online with a credit card, and USDA's civil rights training. After you have watched the video, please email Jessica at adminassist@foodbanknla.org to verify your participation. First, the 10-folder system. The 10-folder system is a record-keeping system designed to keep agencies organized and in compliance with their USDA and food bank agreements. What documents are included in the 10-folder system? First, the agreement and food bank application. That's the current agreement and past agreements with USDA and the food bank. If there is a change in the agency's name or leadership, the agency needs to fill out a new agreement. Secondly, administrative reviews, including the food bank and USDA reviews. Third, approved client applications. This includes current, signed, and approved applications for all clients that receive food updated annually. Every client that you serve must fill out a new USDA client application by Friday, June 30th. Ensure that you are using the 2023-2024 USDA client application that was sent to you with a product list. It can also be found on our website under Agencies, www.foodbanknla.org/agencies. Number 4, ineligible denied applications. All applications that have been denied in receipt of food. Number 5, distribution list or distributions list signed by all clients that receive food. 6, income guidelines. Current income guidelines updated every year in July. 7, distribution rate. The amount of food given to clients determined by the number of people in the household. 8, food bank invoices. Documentation of food received from the food bank, signed and dated. 9, temperature logs. Must record the temperature of all coolers and freezers and keep all temperature records in this folder. Thermometers must be kept inside the dry storage area, refrigerators and freezers, and temperatures must be recorded a minimum of every other day. And lastly, in the 10-folder system, correspondence. Any miscellaneous information received from the food bank or the Department of Agriculture and Forestry. Additional requirements: proof of pest contract and documented service. A minimum of every 60 days, but monthly pest service is preferred. Justice for all posters must be prominently displayed. All food must be stored up off the floor and away from walls. All records pertaining to the program must be readily available at the pantry site where the food is being distributed. All records must be retained for 3 years plus the current year. Soup kitchens and residential sites must have a health inspection once per year and also keep track of the number of meals served each day. Next, OASIS client software. Agencies are required to use the OASIS client tracking program at the time of service. That means when food is given out. Agencies will need Wi-Fi and a tablet, laptop, or cell phone at the distribution site to enter data. Timely data entry prevents clients from going to multiple agencies in the same month. Once data is entered, your food pantry can use the OASIS Assistance Report to complete your monthly report, which is due on the 5th of every month. Be sure to change the amount of pounds distributed each month. Be sure to put food as the type of assistance. ServSafe. At least one of your organization's members must be ServSafe certified. Recertification is every 3 years. If the person who is ServSafe certified leaves your organization, someone else must complete the certification. Keep a copy of the certification in your records and provide a copy to the food bank. How to pay your invoice online. To pay agency invoices online, go to our website, www.foodbanknla.org/agencies. Next, click the orange box that says, "Click here to pay your bill." Enter the agency name, invoice amount, and additional information. Once all the information is filled out, click Submit. Keep a copy of all invoices in your agency's records. The food bank will not provide additional copies of invoices. Before we move on to the USDA Civil Rights Training, let's go after a few questions about what we have learned. When are the 2023-2024 client applications due? Friday, June 30th. When should you enter client data into OASIS? The correct answer is when a client receives food at the time of service. How long must you retain your records? If you said 3 years plus the current year, you are correct. Remember, after you have watched the video, please email Jessica at adminassist@foodbanknla.org to verify your participation. Let's begin the USDA Civil Rights Training. What is discrimination? Discrimination is different treatment which makes a distinction of one person or a group of persons from others, either intentionally, by neglect, or by the actions or lack of actions based on a protected class. Protected classes include race, color, national origin, age, sex, including gender identity and sexual orientation, and disability. Assurances. To qualify for federal financial assistance, an application must be accompanied by a written assurance that the entity to receive financial assistance will be operated in compliance with all non-discrimination laws, regulations, instructions, policies, and guidelines. A civil rights assurance statement must be incorporated in all agreements between federal and state agencies and local agencies or subrecipients. Local agencies and subrecipients. This applies to the food bank and to you. Our partners, pantries, shelters, soup kitchens, residential homes are all subrecipients. Public notification. As a subrecipient of a USDA Food Nutrition Service Assistance Program, you must include a public notification system. The purpose of this system is to inform applicants, participants, and those who may be eligible of program availability, such as location, hours of distribution, and contact information, program rights and responsibilities, the policy of non-discrimination, the procedure for filing a complaint. A sign with this information must be posted in your organization and visible to your clients. State agencies and their subrecipients must make program information available to the public upon request. Prominently display the "And Justice for All" poster. Inform potentially eligible persons, applicants, participants, and community organizations of programs or changes in programs. Convey the message of equal opportunity in all photos and other graphics that are used to provide program or program-related information. Notify persons with disabilities about the availability of reasonable modifications and auxiliary aids and services. Notify persons with limited English proficiency, or LEP, of their right to free language assistance services. Non-discrimination statement. This is the full non-discrimination statement. It must be included in all published materials that mention USDA food programs. At the minimum, the full non-discrimination statement must be on application forms, notification of eligibility or ineligibility, notification of adverse action, program or home web page or a link to it, public information, including program literature. The full USDA non-discrimination statement must be presented to clients at the time of certification. The font size must not be smaller than the type of the rest of the publication. The shortened version is, "This institution is an equal opportunity provider." Spanish and other translations are available on the FNS Civil Rights webpage. The "And Justice for All" poster. Display this poster in a prominent location for all to view. Race and ethnicity data collection. TFAP, which is USDA products received from the food bank, is exempt from data collection. Complaints of discrimination. State agencies are required to inform participants of the option to file a complaint with the USDA. Applicants and participants must file within 180 days of the alleged act of discrimination. Confidentiality is extremely important and must be maintained. Developing state agency complaint forms is optional. Maintain civil rights complaints in a log separate from other program complaints. Contact Lucy at the food bank immediately if you do receive a complaint. Complaints should include name, address, and telephone number of the complainant, the location and name of the organization or office, the nature of the incident or action, the names, titles, and business addresses of persons who may have knowledge of the discriminatory action, the dates during which the alleged discriminatory actions occurred, and the basis for the alleged discrimination. Accept and forward all civil rights complaints to the FNS Civil Rights Division, or CRD, or to the Office of Assistant Secretary for Civil Rights in accordance with FNS Instruction 113-1 and the FNS State Agency Complaints Processing MOU if in place. Accept written, verbal, or anonymous. Forward complaints based on race, color, national origin, sex, including gender identity and sexual orientation, and disability to CRD within 5 calendar days of receipt. Forward complaints based on age or a combination of age and other bases to CRD within 5 business days of receipt. There are English and Spanish versions of the complaint form on the USDA's website. Once again, let's go over some of the information that we learned in the civil rights training so far. Which of these is the correct list of protected classes? The answer is C, race, color, national origin, sex, including gender identity and sexual orientation, and disability. True or false? The "And Justice for All" poster must be prominently displayed. That answer is true. True or false? Applicants and participants must file within 250 days of the alleged act of discrimination. That answer is false. They must file within 180 days of the alleged act of discrimination. Remember, after you have watched the video, please email Jessica at adminassist@foodbanknla.org to verify your participation. Civil rights training. State agencies are responsible for training local agencies on an annual basis. This includes frontline staff and those who supervise frontline staff. New employees must receive civil rights training before participating in program activities. Volunteers, if any, must also receive training appropriate for their roles and responsibilities. All staff should receive training on all aspects of civil rights compliance, including assurances, public notification, complaints of discrimination, civil rights training, racial and ethnic data collection, limited English proficiency, or LEP, disability compliance, compliance reviews and resolution of noncompliance, conflict resolution, and customer service. Who are persons with LEP? Individuals who do not speak English as their primary language and who have a limited ability to read, speak, write, or understand English because of their national origin. Recipients of federal financial assistance must take reasonable steps to ensure meaningful access to their programs and activities by persons with LEP. Failure to provide meaningful access to persons with LEP could be discrimination on the basis of national origin. What is meaningful access? It's language assistance that results in accurate, timely, and effective communication at no cost to the LEP individual. For LEP individuals, meaningful access denotes access that is not significantly restricted, delayed, or inferior as compared to programs or activities provided to English proficient individuals. Factors included in assuring meaningful access include the number or proportion of LEP people eligible to be served or likely to be encountered by the program, the frequency with which LEP individuals come in contact with the program, the nature and importance of the program, activity, or service provided by the program to people's lives, the resources available to the recipient, and costs. Conduct assessments to determine the language profile for their state, considering regional differences and updating as appropriate. Translate vital documents and online information. Post multilingual notices of free interpretation services. Utilize qualified and competent interpreters and translators. Train frontline staff regarding how to provide LEP populations with meaningful access. Language services. Applicants and participants cannot be asked to bring their own interpreters. Children should not be used as interpreters. Examples of language services include bilingual staff, qualified and competent telephonic interpreters, qualified and competent interpreters, qualified and competent translators, community organizations with qualified and competent volunteer interpreters. LEP population and data sources include Department of Justice site, U.S. Census data, American Community Survey, Migration Policy Institute's National Center on Immigration Integration Policy. Disability access. What is the definition of disability? Disability involves a person who has a physical or mental impairment which substantially limits one or more major life activities, has a record of such an impairment, or is regarded as having such an impairment. Major life activity means functions such as caring for oneself, performing manual tasks, walking, seeing, hearing, speaking, breathing, learning, and working. And according to the American with Disability Act, or ADA amendments of 2008, functions of the immune system, normal cell growth, digestive, bowel, bladder, neurological, brain, respiratory, circulatory, cardiovascular, endocrine, and reproductive functions are all included. As programs and offices modernize, it is imperative that websites and online application systems are readily accessible to and usable by persons with visual impairments and other disabilities. In addition, programs must ensure physical accessibility for buildings and facilities, particularly to persons in wheelchairs and other power-driven mobility devices. Programs must provide access for service animals. Title II requires public entities to administer services, programs, and activities in the most integrated setting appropriate to the needs of qualified individuals with disabilities. The most integrated setting enables individuals with disabilities to interact with non-disabled persons to the fullest extent possible. Compliance reviews. These reviews examine the activities of state agencies, subrecipients, and local sites to determine civil rights compliance. FNS civil rights and program staff review state agencies. FNS staff and state agencies review local agencies. Local agencies review their subrecipients. Significant findings must be provided in writing to the reviewed entity and to FNS. Special reviews are conducted by the USDA's Office of the Assistant Secretary for Civil Rights, independently or in conjunction with FNS program or civil rights staff. The reviews are scheduled or unscheduled in follow-up to previous findings of noncompliance or to investigate reports of noncompliance by other agencies, media, or grassroots organizations. They may occur to resolve a specific incident or policy. They may occur as a result of an entity's history of statistical underrepresentation of groups, and they may occur if a pattern of complaints of discrimination exists. Resolution of noncompliance is a factual finding that any civil rights requirement as provided by law, regulation, policy, instruction, or guidelines is not being adhered to by a state agency, local agency, or subrecipient agency. Steps must be taken immediately to obtain compliance. A finding's effective date is the date of notice to the reviewed entity. Voluntary Resolution Agreement. This is a written agreement that the reviewed entity voluntarily enters with FNS to ensure compliance with federal civil rights laws between two or more parties, that is, FNS, CRD, state agency, subrecipient, complainant, etc., to close out a civil rights review in lieu of issuing a written compliance review report with the findings. Civil rights compliance and customer service with conflict resolution includes: stay calm and listen. Don't be afraid to apologize. Take time to explain the regulations and policies. Try to offer solutions. Ask a supervisor for help. Customer service includes being patient and polite. Learn new ways to improve customer service. Ask yourself, am I treating this person in the same manner I treat others? Make sure all participants receive equal treatment and service. Equal does not mean identical. Practice empathy and compassion. Recognize that participants have varied needs. Accommodations for people with disabilities or language needs are not special favors. Now let's go over 3 true or false questions to review. True or false? Civil rights training is required every 3 years. The correct answer is false. State agencies are responsible for training local agencies on an annual basis. True or false? Applicants and participants cannot be asked to bring their own interpreters. If you said true, you are correct. True or false? Special reviews may occur to resolve a special incident or policy. This answer is true. Thank you for attending the Food Bank of Northwest Louisiana's annual agencies meeting. After watching the video, please email Jessica at adminassist@foodbanknla.org to verify your participation. If you have questions or concerns, contact Agency Relations and Programs Manager Lucy Hines via email at agencyrelations@foodbanknla.org, or you can call Lucy at 318-675-2400 extension 113.